Hello, my name is Alfredo, and in this video we're gonna be talking about how to make our planet a better place, not just for us, but for our future generations. First of all, I like to give my opinion on certain aspects. The first one being, what are we actually doing as a whole, humanity as a whole, to save our planet? Which I want to start with the biggest organizations, which is international organizations such as the United Nations, which has already began years ago doing projects that they use to restore ecosystems and being both ground and in the sea. Apart from the United Nations, we also have the World Wildlife Fund, which is specifically made for this problem. It's mainly focused on the preservation of wildlife, such as animals, plants, etc., etc. And even outside of organizations, there's already international people that are making such funds or like charities to help our planet to reforestation or taking trash out of the seas. For example, the most known example is Mr. Beast, which has made two campaigns at the moment, both being Team Trees and Team Seas. Apart from that, individually for the community as a whole, at least in our community in Reynosa, Tamaulipas, we haven't seen much progress trying to stop doing certain activities that affect our community. Nonetheless, we have actually, me and my family at least, have begun uh, just taking trash. If we find trash in the streets, we usually take it to the trash bin or simple stuff like that, but simple stuff that can actually affect. So we're trying our best to countermeasure what people do. For the next topic, it's about what possible solutions we could have for for this current situation, which I think there's so many simple things to do in for the community. I mean, the international organizations, we don't really have much to say about them. They have their plans, but for us as our community, as I mentioned before, it's simple, but it's very good to start just picking up trash from the streets and putting them in trash bins or trash cans, whatever you find. Well, you can, for our government at least, they could try to fix at least the sewers because our city has a huge problem with the sewers where it gets clogged up and our streets get flooded, and it's mainly causing a lot of illnesses for our people. One another huge factor we're suffering at the moment is how people let run their water. We're basically running out of water at the moment, so it's main stuff like when you're brushing your teeth, you just have to grab a cup instead of letting the water run. Same as when you're taking a shower or when you're outside, and for example, people like with the hose to just spray all over their garage or just the front part of their house. It's not a good thing to do. Just stop doing that kind of stuff. And that's it for my solutions or for my recommended solutions. As I mentioned before, we have already multiple problems in our community, mainly being how we find huge amounts of trash being just out there in the streets, like really big amounts. And something that relates to that, it's how they burn that trash. To get rid of it easily, they just get rid of it burning it, which what causes it causes a bunch of smoke filled with a bunch of contaminants that fills the air and makes it really hard to breathe or brings a lot of air illnesses. For example, in Mexico City, we already have that smog. You will never stop seeing the smog. The fogginess, it's smog. It's just a bunch of contaminated air due to stuff like that, like the trash burning. Um, some other stuff I've already mentioned. It was the sewers. The sewers just gets clogged with mainly trash, and they also just don't work. They just clog up, and they flood the streets. My Right here around my house, there's constantly a street flooded with those kinds of sewer water, with yes, sewer waters, which is kind of disgusting and still disappointing. For to end this topic, I would like to state a quote, which is the greatest threat to our planet is the belief that someone else will save it, which brings a lot to our mind. Like it makes you understand how you actually just expect, for example, us, the United Nations, like yeah, they'll fix everything, but no, it's something that we must, everyone must contribute to help it. We need to fix it. How? Together as humanity. And that's the end of that topic. Lastly, this is for uh, my opinions due to the about the class level 5. It was a fantastic class. I loved it from start to finish. The teacher was so understanding. I've known English for a long time, but when the teacher came in and started speaking in English and started me showing that she's really understanding of how people have difficulty with certain aspects of the English, it just made it seem very comforting and very accepting. Like from that, all all my classmates as well just started like accepting how other people have certain problems and still try to help. And also the main focus that the teacher had was how she made these rooms where we were made to interact with each other and start forming conversations, which is one of the best things you can do to teach someone English. Conversations is the main focus you have for learning English. The main focus of learning English is to make a conversation, to keep the conversation going. Um, Also, apart from that, I don't know. I just like how we always participated, and the teacher was really nice. The activities we made in class were fantastic. It was very dynamic. Not much like, oh, it's just reading. It's about, oh, we're doing stuff that does not require only reading or writing. It also like forces our mind to start doing other stuff, like mainly it's said already in the words, it's really dynamic. But yes, all of it was really interesting and exciting at the same time. So yeah, that's about it for my opinions, and I thank you all for watching. um, I'll see you later. Goodbye.